from the attack caused a lot of trauma and fear. So when we got into contact with Remedi, it's because of the trauma and the counselling, because nothing was really happening, and also I was too afraid to go out because of the attack, and the attack caused mental issues with my head, and I couldn't properly think.
Yeah, I understand that. Did you kind of know what kind of help you thought you needed at that moment?
Yes, because of the school not caring about anything, and also my head not thinking straight. So I was like, it's probably going to be trauma counselling because of the trauma I probably went through.
Right. How did you find how Remedi worked with you and the kind of things you did with Victoria?
I found it really helpful because it boosted my self-esteem and my confidence to go back into school full time and really show people that I'm not going to go away that easily.
Yeah. Do you feel a bit more confident now in yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cracking. So how did you come to work with Remedi?
My brother was attacked, and through Remedi I got involved because I was also in that school. So obviously not only was some of the effects on my brother, but I also had some effects from me, and I could also give him some input on the way the school works, how the school sees things, and how things could be solved, things that my brother hasn't seen because he's only been in for around 2 years, but I graduated. So obviously there's the ins and outs that I know, and I could give input and get help.
What kind of impacts did it have on your brother and the rest of your family?
It was very much constant trauma, the fear of going out. Obviously when something like being attacked, dealing with hate crime happens, it affects how you see the world, how you develop, how you continue, how you perceive people. So mum and dad are there trying to make sure that my brother knows that it's safe to go outside. And people need to go out in order to, get their mental health and go out and do things. Obviously, after being attacked, you get really scared of the public. Mom and dad are trying to work together, getting him out, doing things, but he's panicking about what other people are thinking. You don't know, if you get attacked, you don't know what people are going to do, you don't know what they're thinking, and you get scared. So it's very much trying to get him to understand that not everybody is the same way.
Yeah. So was that kind of the help that you got from Remedi, was helping Andrew with that?
I think it wasn't just getting him out though, it was helping him to understand that, there is ways to move forward. I think when you're in a situation where everyone is panicking and, so struck, Remedi kind of gave us a bit of clearance, a bit of closure, a way to understand how to get over that, because in that situation you can't get out of it alone. You're going to need help, and that's kind of what Remedi did for us, I think, personally.
What did that help look like? Like, what did they do?
It was regular meetings, very much persistence. It wasn't, because it wasn't like spaced out. It was very much, we need to get all this structure, because when you don't have enough structure, things do fall apart. But it was very nice when Remedi was, we're going to have this meeting here, and this is what we're going to do for it. And once that is done, then we'll move on. And they wouldn't move on before that one thing that they wanted to accomplish was done. Once that was put in place, then we moved on to something else. And it wasn't just, this is the plan. The plan was flexible. So if something didn't work, we'd move on to something else and try something else until something works. And obviously this does take longer, but it gets better results.
Yeah. What were the impacts you saw after working with Remedi on Andrew and the rest of your family?
Before he was attacked, it was very much still fear, but his confidence was a lot lower. His self-esteem wasn't as high. After Remedi, it was very much going to schools, showing people, that yes, this happened to me, and yes, I did struggle with it, but also I'm moving forward, and I'm not the same person as I was when I was attacked. I'm a stronger person now, and it's not just about fixing the problem, it's about improving a person after such an event as an attack. So while we were working with Remedi and Victoria, some of the things we wanted mostly was ways to cope with the trauma. Coping with trauma is actually the hardest part of the situation because, there's always getting over it. There's a path to recovery, but the path of recovery requires being able to cope with the things you've been through. And so a lot of the times he would have nightmares of the attack, where he would wake up screaming and he'd wake up crying. And there's also times where he would have little panic attacks when there was like teenage boys that we passed on the street on the way to the shop. Ways we cope with this was things like breathing exercises, distraction exercises. Distraction was really good because as a person, that when you're focusing on that traumatic event, you're replaying it and replaying it and replaying it, and the easiest way to bring yourself back to reality is to focus on the things around you. Another coping method was writing things down. A lot of the writing was a bit tricky, but he finds it easier to put things into pictures and drawings, which I thought was really amazing. Looking at those, you could kind of see over time the progression he made, and I thought that was really, really helpful.
Yeah. It sounds like, I don't know if you maybe knew a lot about this before, but did you learn a lot of this over the process? Because it sounds like you've picked up on a lot of these, techniques as well. Yeah.
So I also suffer with anxiety that really puts me in a bad situation on a regular daily basis. And so when I was looking at these, I applied them to myself. Of course, it has to be different. I wasn't getting but I was putting those coping methods that I saw into action for myself, and it helped me cope as well. It also helped me see from my brother's point of view, which I think is more important than anything else, because this support was meant to help him get over everything, and it really, really did.
Which of those techniques did you find super helpful on your end?
Mainly the box breathing, because when I was afraid of it, I was struggling to breathe because of the panic attacks. So the box breathing helped me with the breathing as well as calming down.
So your son was attacked.
Yes.
And you didn't really feel like you got the support for that.
No.
Could you talk a bit about where he was after the attack and what you think you would needed at that time?
My son was non-communicative. My son's got ADHD and autism. He cannot mention when something's wrong. We had no eye contact. He always looked down. He didn't go anywhere without me or my daughter. He would get nightmares. He would cry all the time. He would be clingy. I ended up going to the police because I didn't feel I did have support. Tried to make a charge. They asked me, shall we refer you? And I said, yes, please. And I thought, it was just another support worker. Maybe Victoria. Oh my goodness, what a blessing that was. She started working with Andrew. We went to meetings at school, putting things in place. She listened to Andrew. He never looked at her in the beginning. He didn't. She worked hard to get his trust, because he didn't trust anyone, not even us, as parents or family. She worked very hard with us. She got Andrew to start lifting his head, feeling proud. In school meetings, they would talk over him. She got Andrew involved in the meetings to mention with his own words how he feels and what he feels would work for him. We worked with him. Well, Victoria worked with Andrew day after day. She was a constant. He felt safe with her. He started opening up. He started speaking again, looking at us. The nightmares started going away, slowed down. He started going in the back garden, not the front yet, but he went in the back garden. When I was working there, he would be with me. He started helping me outside, and then he started growing. He went back to school for 2 hours, and then one day he just said to me, okay, I'm ready, let's go back full time. He's built so much confidence that when kids tried to challenge him in school, that he said, I don't care, turned around and walked away. He doesn't allow someone to bring him down anymore. Victoria has built his confidence so immensely, and I think you saw in the recording, he would never have done that 3 months ago. He would not have even looked at you. He would not have spoken to you. We go out now. On Mondays we do trampolining. Thursdays we do kickboxing. He will go shopping with me. We do dog watching, things like that. And it's amazing.
What has been the impact on you as a family?
I have to say, in the beginning, I felt alone. I was scared because I couldn't help my son. I'm going to get emotional. I couldn't support him. I felt like a bad mom because I couldn't protect him. But Victoria has not just helped my son and my daughter, but she's helped me as a mom. She made me feel worth it. She built me up. She made me stronger, made me believe in myself. And she showed me, it's just stay strong because you love your children. And I can tell you, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for Remedi, but especially for Victoria. She's been amazing. She's been there weekly. And that's all we needed, was just that constant support that we've never had before.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You can take a minute if you like.
That's all right.
But is there anything else you'd like to add?
I wish there was more acknowledgement for Remedi. I wish it was more out there, that people know Remedi's out there and that they do help. They're not just another company or authority figure that says they're going to help, but they don't. Remedi actually does help. They do put things in place and they work hard for the family, and they do not just leave you. You work towards the end and the sign-off. The family gets prepared for the sign-off. They don't just disappear overnight.